Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. You're so excited for you to be able to learn more about Google Cloud, how you can maximize your spend with GCP and also streamline your procurement. My name is Colin Jones, and I lead our ISV go-to-market initiatives for our mid-market segment here at Google Cloud. I work with organizations of all different sizes to find ways to save money on GCP and again, streamline your third-party software procurement. I'm joined here by my peer, Pete Henderson. Pete, thanks for joining us.
Colin, thanks for having me. Like I said, my name is Pete, and I lead our go-to-market efforts in North America around helping our customers of all sizes use the Google Cloud Marketplace. Happy to be here.
Pete, really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Again, I work with so many different types of organizations, big and small, every single industry, every single geography, and you just be surprised how many organizations haven't heard of or been able to leverage a cloud marketplace today. And they're just, every time I talk to a new company about this, you just see their eyes light up and they love hearing about the amazing benefits and perks of what we have to offer here from Google Cloud Marketplace. So excited to have you tell us a little bit more about that.
Awesome. Like I said, thanks for having me. My job is I talk about the marketplace with customers and our partners all day, every day. And so excited to go through some slides. I'll talk about the value of the marketplace that we have and what we're doing, seeing in the industry as far as marketplaces. And then I'm going to dive into a few light demos on what it's like to get a private offer. We'll talk about what that is and how you can kind of see some of this in the console, things you bought, and some other billing questions that I get often. We'll jump through that, and then I think we got some questions. So we'll dive in. So
absolutely, and also I want to make sure that we're able to share that Sean Smith from Simpleview is a great partner company of ours, and he's going to talk about his own usage of the Google Cloud Marketplace and all the amazing benefits and findings that he's had from that whole experience. Unfortunately, Sean wasn't able to join us all here live today, but we'll go back to a past Cullen and Sean for that conversation. You'll get to hear how real organizations out there are leveraging the Google Cloud Marketplace every single day. So again,
that's
Pete,
awesome. So Sean, when you see this, thank you also for doing this. It's awesome to have customers talk about how this impacts them in their job. So thank you. So here's the agenda I want to walk through. I want to talk about the role of what we're seeing in marketplaces in the industry, not just Google Cloud Marketplace, but a lot of hyperscalers are offering this. We'll walk through the Google Cloud Marketplace. One important thing I'm going to talk to you on is governance, because I get a lot of questions around governance and how can companies ensure that their users are not going outside their procurement process and how we support that. And then we'll do a little bit of a demo. I'll walk through what a private offer is and a few other console items I think we'll find valuable. So let's dive right in. And what we're seeing is, and I think we see this across many different industries, is the way people are buying is changing. I had someone even comment to me that you can buy a car through an app now, which is really interesting. The way we buy things in our personal life and also the way companies are buying things is modernizing. It is changing. And companies are getting a lot of demand from their users that they got to get tools into their hands very quickly. And that's super important. And the marketplaces, and we'll talk about some of the things that allow you to procure quickly. Also, you have a cloud spend, commit customers. Not all of our marketplace customers have commits. We'll talk about that. But the marketplace allows them to satisfy their commitment as well. We're also introducing new features that allow you to maintain your channel partnership. So if you work with a reseller, you can still work directly with that reseller and utilize the marketplace and get some of the benefits that we'll talk about, as well as maintain your relationship with the provider, the publisher of the software that you want to buy. And you can maintain that direct relationship, still work with them on pricing and contract terms as well. For some numbers that Canalys has put together is we see this marketplace trend only getting bigger. And in 2025, we look like it'll be about a $45 billion market, give or take a little bit. But this is continuing to grow. As you can see, the growth rate has been quite large for the procuring through cloud marketplaces. And Google's vision for cloud marketplace is to become a frictionless procurement platform, providing a universal catalog of solutions for customers to easily discover, try, buy, and use. And this is interesting because you can discover them. You can go, and I'll show you in the marketplace where you can look for solutions. But you can also, some of our solutions that are listed there have a free trial period. You can buy them without ever talking to a human, or you can talk to your sales rep at the company, and you can do it both ways. And then you can start to use them and use them fairly quickly. I always like to start with a couple, like what a customer is saying, and Forbes has said that leveraging the marketplace has allowed them to really bring the right software at the right time to their users very quickly. And it's made the process of buying software very seamless for them. Also want to show a lot of our partners that we have. We have a lot, and this is growing. And so even when this slide was created, it probably was out of date right away because we have so many more very large companies that we're adding to the marketplace. But here are just some of the titles that we have that are available to you in the marketplace to leverage. So now that we've talked about what customers are saying and what's available and stuff, let's talk about the value of why you'd want to buy from the marketplace. Number one is the procurement platform. It's fully integrated into Google Console. So within the console, you can go, you can discover, you can click on and buy right away some solutions. So it's fully integrated into the Google Cloud Console. Also, we have for a very diverse selection of solutions. So we have BYOL, bring your own license. Maybe you have already procured a license, but you want a virtual machine from that supplier that you can easily deploy, already has the software built in, put in a license key and you're good to go. Pay as you go is really, really becoming more popular, where you only pay for what you consume, which is really what cloud is about. So we have a lot of pay-go solutions in the marketplace. We also have flat fees. So maybe you want to negotiate a flat fee contract with that supplier. We support that. We have SaaS solutions. We have APIs. We have Kubernetes containers, Anthos. We also see something that's relatively new, or data sets. We have data providers that are providing large data into BigQuery that you can buy. And then I can't not talk about what we're offering and talk about Gen AI. And we're seeing partners like Anthropic bringing their models to Vertex, and you can procure those through the marketplace. When you buy from the marketplace, Google does the invoicing. So when you pay your GCP invoice, you'll also be paying for the solutions that you purchased on the Google Cloud Marketplace. So one bill from Google, and it draws down your commitment to Google up to the allowable cap. And so that means every dollar on the marketplace, you will get credit towards that through your GCP commitment. If you look at your contract, there's a cap. Usually the latest cap is around 25%, and you can help satisfy that with the cloud marketplace. And that's really important there. And we'll talk about this later, but you can de-risk your commitment with Google by using the marketplace. And we allow our partners to provide billing flexibility to our customers. You can pay monthly. They can structure it so you would pay monthly. They would structure it so you can pay quarterly, annually. And we just introduced a multi-year upfront. So you can actually pay for multiple years upfront, and then you can pay that invoice. We will do a prorated commit burn down based on the term of that agreement that you have, but we're giving multiple options and flexibility for our partners to bring to you, our customers. It's important to mention that you maintain your direct relationship. So when you would negotiate price, you would negotiate a EULA directly with that supplier, and you also can maintain your channel relationship. So if you buy through a channel reseller partner, we are partnering with them and with the supplier to be able to maintain that relationship, and also use the marketplace and draw down your commitment. Like I said, commercial terms are negotiated with a partner that you're buying from there. The EULAs are attached to the private offer. I'll show you what that is. And so the negotiated price and the EULA will be attached. And the private offer is that executed agreement where you have negotiated something specific for your company with that supplier. The private offer is how they're going to deliver it, and I'll be demoing that in a minute. The financial incentives are really around the commit drawdown. The ability for you to draw down your commitment to Google with the marketplace just is a win-win for our customers, our partners, and for Google, to allow you the ability to do that and to have one source, and all your solutions then run on GCP. So you have that, everything is very close together. And then we provide the flexible billing options for your partners to be able to provide to you as well. I mentioned earlier, like about private offers, and we'll go a little bit deeper into private offers, but it's important and to kind of also mention the ability to buy solutions by clicking on them in the marketplace without having to talk to another human, a sales rep. And this is important if you want to test a solution. You're not sure if a certain solution is applicable to what you want to use. You can go out and you can buy it, do a pay-go for that solution, start to use it, and see if it's in a test dev, it's actually what you want to use. And then you can go and you can start negotiating directly with that supplier if you need to. So we really want to be a platform where you can buy quickly. And it will also scale with you as you need to, and you may need to then go out and negotiate directly with that supplier. I get a lot of questions around governance because a lot of procurement people feel like, well, this is a cloud market, this is a marketplace, this is a storefront. Can my end users go and just start buying things and not getting approval for them? Is my bill going to go up? And the answer to that is no. We provide governance. It's a couple different layers when it comes to the marketplace. The first one is just identity and access management. There is a particular role, billing administrator, that is the only role within the Google organization that can actually buy from the marketplace. They can only ones that can accept a private offer or go in and do a pay-go offering and click and buy. Another layer is called request procurement. This is where we actually allow you to actually remove a subscribe button and put a request procurement button on each listing so that, and then the user can fill out a form to allow you to then get that feedback from the user that they'd like to buy that. So we're making it easy for you to interact with the users through the marketplace, but still they can't buy without being that billing administrator role. So it's very important that that billing administrator role is kind of controlled. You know who has it, and you have some processes around that. I'll talk in a minute about private marketplace, where we can curate what you see in the storefront of the marketplace. So private marketplace and request procurement features allow you to have a comprehensive set of capabilities. So let's talk a little quick about the curated and product recommendations. This is a private marketplace. Private marketplace is actually going to be the icons of and the actual listings of the solutions on the marketplace that you want to expose to your users. So this may be, you have an agreement with MongoDB, you have an agreement with Databricks. You can limit what users can see by the project or the organization within Google, the Google console, what they can see in the marketplace. So they can't see anything that you haven't, as a procurement professional, as an administrator of the GCP console, exposed to them. And it's a very important way for you to maintain that governance around what's in the marketplace. And then request procurement is basically a seamless user experience that allows your users to actually fill out a form and send an email, gets sent to a procurement officer saying, hey, this user is interested in procuring the solution. And then we would help facilitate that connection, but we do not allow them to procure without going through your official procurement process. The private offer is the vast majority of the business done in the marketplace is a private offer. And a private offer is simply a pre-negotiated terms, both price and contract terms, that you have done with your supplier, and they will send you a link in an email that it will take them to a private offer. And so in step one, a procurement contacts a vendor to negotiate commercial terms. And then you negotiate just like you would on any other process, and you would land on legal and commercial terms with that vendor. That vendor will then submit a private offer via the Google console. It's a link usually sent in email. And then at that point, you have the option, and step number 3 is to download that offer as a PDF. And this is really important because the billing administrator that has the permissions to accept the private offer may not be the same individual that negotiated the terms, and they may not know what we negotiated. And so when you get the private offer, it's important that you actually look at it and say, hey, is this what we negotiated? Is this the price? Is this what we negotiated? And the downloading the PDF allows you to share that and hold it for your records. This is what we negotiated. So you want to download that for offline review of the terms. And once everything is as negotiated, the authorized procurement officer in step number 4 will accept that offer. And it would basically be an accept button in the GCP console to accept that. The order is instantly processed, and then it is automatically added to your Google Cloud console once that has the transaction has processed, which is usually immediately. And then the payment terms are based on your Google payment terms because Google will be doing the invoicing. But immediately the vendor will then deploy that solution. So I think at this point, we want to step into a little bit of a demo. And what I'd like to do is just show you what a private offer looks like. Now, this is an already accepted private offer, but it is a kind of a framework of what that private offer will look like. The ones you receive might look a little bit different just because the product is different and the product is priced differently. But this will give you an idea of what it will be. You'll see on here the partner details, the customer details. You'll see the billing account number. When you want to get a private offer from a vendor, all you have to do is supply your billing account number, which is in the billing section of the GCP console. You will provide that to the vendor, and then they go through, create the private offer with that billing ID, and send that over to you. And you'll see some over here, like a deadline to accept the private offer. You'll see an offer overview with a start date, an end date. This is a 12-month private offer. It's post-pay, which actually means monthly. And then also the product. Here I'm using a demo product called SaaS Database Demo, and it's a standard plan. Some vendors may have a premium plan, a platinum plan. That's up to them to define. But you'll have a product and you'll have a plan as well. And then you'll see the pricing and how is it metered. How are you doing it per users? You're doing it per gigabyte, per API call. A lot of different ways that could be metered, but you'll see how that's listed in here. You'll also see here under terms, I call this one custom EULA. This is where the EULA that you negotiate with that supplier will be attached as a PDF to the private offer. And so when you go and you print this, it'll actually be included, or I can download it as well. But this is important because not only do you want to negotiate pricing, you want to negotiate the T's and C's and the EULA, and they will attach that to this as well. There's a few other purchasing details or terms on here, depending on the way that the product is structured. It is important to note that you will have to accept the Google Cloud Marketplace Terms of Service. You click on that and it goes to the Terms of Service for the marketplace only. The Terms of Service do not govern the third-party product that you are buying. They just govern the platform, the storefront of the marketplace. They aren't negotiable. They're just click to accept. We have very large organizations that accept them, but you have to understand it does not govern the actual product you're buying, just the marketplace. You would click agree to the terms above, and then there would be a subscribe button. You would click here. I want to jump over now and look at what the marketplace looks like. Here you see this is the Google Cloud Marketplace. You see all the different suppliers that are listed here. It's a very comprehensive, and it's growing daily of solutions that are here. And we'd love to hear of solutions that you would like to have in, and maybe talk to the supplier, say, hey, we love you in the Google Cloud Marketplace. We'd love to work with them on that. But as you look through this, you also see over here your orders. And your orders is essentially everything that you've bought from the marketplace. You can see here I have 3 different things that I have transacted from the marketplace. I have an Active Directory domain controller. I have the SaaS database demo, and I also have a MongoDB PayGo. This one is pending approval, which means they have not actually fulfilled it yet, which is totally fine. I'm working with them on that. But you'll see the SaaS database demo. This one I subscribed back in November, and you can see that listed here. So it's important when you look under your products, this is where you will see the solutions that you've bought that are currently active or pending in the marketplace as well. And then the last area I just want to really quickly, briefly, go over is how you would see this in the billing console. So like I mentioned, Google does the invoicing, and you will get that on the Google invoice, which Google invoices generally could be 80 pages long, or they're like just a couple pages long. But we've shortened them, which means you need to go to the console to actually see the solutions that you're buying. And as I look in the console, I can see down here under services, SaaS database demo, 455. I'm breaking the bank, as you can see. Here I see in the console my marketplace purchase. One thing to note is that the solutions that are bought from the marketplace, the SaaS solutions that are running in the tenant of the supplier, are actually not assigned to a project. So one quick way to see them all is to go to charges not specific to a project. And now I've limited all of the services that I have to just the SaaS database demo. I don't see all the first party services because your console probably has quite a few SKUs in here because you're buying a lot. Here, this allows me to limit what I'm seeing so that I only see the database that I bought through the marketplace. That was a very quick overview of what a private offer is and the different parts of the GCP console, of where you can see your orders that you've got, that you've already purchased, where you can see the billing in the console, and also, what the actual marketplace looks like. Here's my contact information. I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions. See me on LinkedIn as well. And Colin, I think I want to throw it back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Pete. Really appreciate you walking us through all of that. And hopefully everyone out there is really starting to just see the power of what is offered with Google Cloud Marketplace. So, Pete, something that I hear a lot is like, hey, I'm not a massive Fortune 500 company. I probably have no business buying from the marketplace. Can you talk a little bit about what are the different types of customers that you see leveraging our marketplace?
Yeah, obviously we see the large companies out there use it and use it quite effectively, but we also see very small companies using it as well. And that's I think the beauty of the cloud is the cloud sort of levels the playing field. So very small companies can get access to the same technology as the big guys, and so you're going to use a lot less of it, but you have access to BigQuery, you have access to virtual machines and our security. And you also have access to the marketplace. So the marketplace in cloud in general levels the playing field for a lot of companies. And so we see companies that are new to Google and they're exploring Google and they're very new and they don't have a lot of spend, but they're exploring the marketplace because they have a lot of suppliers that they want to then consolidate and they want to bring together. And then as they maybe don't have a commitment but want to build into a commitment, the marketplace allows them to kind of to build that out.
That's great, Pete. I agree. I've worked with small organizations, and maybe it's not the millions of dollars of savings that a large Fortune 500 might have, but even on a smaller scale, there's still so much ability just to maximize that spend with GCP. So I see organizations of all sizes just really benefiting and really, really enjoying the benefits that come here.
Awesome.
Another kind of position that I see, again, like some of these smaller companies, maybe they're just starting their journey onto cloud and Google in general. And you kind of mentioned this. I just want to double down on it a little bit. Companies who are looking to maybe sign that first GCP commitment. Can you talk and explain just again, high level, how does Marketplace help them when they're thinking through that and they're going down that journey for the first time?
Yeah, thank you for that question, because I think that does deserve maybe another layer deeper on what does that work with the GCP commitment. And I think that as you look at committing to Google, a committed spend to Google, and I've mentioned a couple of times, the marketplace helps you draw that down. But really, the way we want to look at that is it helps you de-risk that commitment. So when you go into a commitment with Google, you're saying, I'm going to have so much in BigQuery, so much virtual machine storage, networking, compute, all of the awesome things that we provide, and you're going to then commit to Google and get some additional discounts. The marketplace allows you to kind of de-risk that, so that you can then have confidence in going into that commitment that I can use the marketplace maybe to exceed that commitment, but also that, hey, maybe a project may not go according to schedule. I can use the marketplace to then just kind of de-risk the commitment. And so I think that's a very important thing to understand as a customer, is where the marketplace can help with that. And I think over their lifetime, relationship with Google, not maybe their first commitment, but as that grows and they go into another commitment, then the marketplace just allows that to grow and that relationship to grow, and then to get eventually, grow your Google estate and get more discounts as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I appreciate you further explaining that for us here.
Yeah, and I have a couple of questions as well. I thought about, like, what do you see from your standards, your vantage point? Like, as I hear a lot of times customers think about leveraging marketplace will cost them more or add complexity. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a good question, and something that I hear a lot of. And I think, one, there's maybe an education gap where some organizations that go to the marketplace and they see the public facing pricing, and their first thought is, well, that's a lot more than I'm paying. Why would I ever want to look at this? It might cost me more money. And we have to take a step back and go back to the private offer scenario that you walked us all through, and ensure that you don't lose that ability to negotiate contracts and pricing with the partner in question. And so just right off the bat, there's definitely not going to be added costs by looking at marketplace. And the fact that you're able to de-risk that commitment, like you mentioned, Pete, is just a great way to maximize the dollar with GCP. And then you get to all the savings of just not having to manage the complexity of having to pay multiple different partners. And so I've worked with organizations who they're setting reminders on Google Calendar or on their cell phones to pay a vendor bill. And obviously that's not their main day-to-day task, and something that's going to help their career and their organization continue to grow. So marketplace just removes all of that need. And it's something that I just get great feedback from organizations on all the time. And so to summarize, it doesn't cost anything more. It doesn't add complexity. And we're here to help walk our customers through that step by step to make sure it does go smoothly too.
Oh, that's awesome, and that's perfect. And I do know that part of your role is to help our customers, make the right decision. And I often tell customers, I will help you understand what is a good marketplace opportunity and maybe what's not a good marketplace opportunity. And we're here to help our customers with that. And to that point, like, what ISV partners do you see more commonly with traditional organizations?
Yeah. And again, so I work with companies that are small retailers, manufacturing companies, professional services organizations, and healthcare organizations, like everything in between. And it's great to be able to work with such a diversity of customers and industries there. And it really just depends on where they are in their journey. I see a lot of cybersecurity solutions. Obviously, that's top of mind for everybody in this day of age. And so a lot of the organizations I'm working with maybe have had a relationship with like a Palo Alto, and they're using traditional firewalls on-prem, but now that they're starting their cloud journey and migrating more services to cloud, they start thinking about cloud security. And that's a whole nother kind of realm. And so plenty of partners like Palo Alto and Wiz, CrowdStrike, just to name a couple, are services that I'm seeing all the time that we're moving through marketplace. Data and analytics is a huge topic as well. Obviously, AI, that revolution is just in our hands right now. And so we work with so many fantastic AI partners to just do so many different things. And I'm seeing organizations continue to look at those as well. So it's really all over the board, and even the non-technology solutions too. So some of the things like Workday, for example, like a solution that maybe IT doesn't always think about, or Vimeo, for example, companies who have videos on their website and they're hosting those, leveraging a partner like Vimeo. It's another service that's in our marketplace. So it's really all over the board. And that's the great thing about marketplaces. It's not just a couple solutions. It's something that there's so much to choose from, and we're continuously adding more as well.
Awesome. Those are my questions. And thanks for having me. This was great.
Absolutely. Pete, really appreciate you taking the time again to chat through us. Hopefully everyone out there is just really starting to see more of the value of marketplace. And So many organizations have leveraged it today. It's not a trend that's slowing down. And so we want to help you really understand that and put it to the most use for you. And so, again, we would go over to Sean right now. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us live. So we'll go back to a previous conversation that I had with Sean and hear from him live on how Simpleview and him are leveraging Marketplace to their advantage and all of the greatness that they're seeing come from that. So I want to welcome Sean Smith from Simpleview, Director of Network Operations. Simpleview has been a great partner to GCP and has leveraged Google Marketplace for a few purchases, and wanted to hear a little bit more from you, Sean. So Sean, can you just start, give us a quick background on yourself, your role, and Simpleview in general?
Sure, absolutely, Colin. Like you said, I'm the Director of Network Operations for Simpleview. I've been here for going on about 18 years at this point. Through that, we've grown. I've seen the company go from 30 people when I started to we're just about 500-ish now. We were specifically in Tucson, Arizona, and now we're international. We've got offices around the globe, which is kind of fun. Part of that growth, has been because we've been able to leverage things like, Google Cloud and Marketplace and so forth. As far as Simpleview, really, we are a website and software development company, specifically focused in the travel and tourism industry, working with destination markets to help them increase both their convention and leisure travel to their destinations. So through website, through CRM, through a variety of other solutions that we have, we help these agencies, these organizations, to increase their revenue through travel.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, again, Sean, really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. So as far as it comes to GCP Marketplace, I know Simpleview has made a few purchases. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what was your decision to leverage GCP Marketplace to make some of these acquisitions, and how has that worked for you?
Sure. Again, 18-ish years I've been with Simpleview, and we've always kind of adopted the either build, buy, or acquire when it comes to needing a software solution. And in our younger years, we really did kind of go down the road of trying to build everything. And over time, and again, having gotten into Google Cloud, we've identified a lot of places where we were able to better leverage somebody else's intellect and capability, versus having to build that in-house. Some really good examples that we've been able to leverage is like Mongo Atlas. We stood up our own Mongo servers a long time ago to support our CMS, and through conversations with Google and our reps there and SATA who work with us there, they were like, hey, there's a better way to do this. And we sure enough found it was not just better, it was more stable, it was easier, it was actually more cost effective because we didn't have to invest the man hours that were necessary in the maintenance of Mongo, which, while Mongo is easy, Mongo Atlas is easier. So there's that. And again, we just recently picked up into Looker Studio as well, professional for our search engine optimization team, and they're doing a lot of reporting through that, which they were doing very manually before. I talked to the director over there just recently, and she was very excited about how much faster they're able to produce reports, as well as that they just look better because there's not having to be our own dog food, if you will.
Of course. That's awesome, Sean. Appreciate that insight. So when it comes to the marketplace itself and the acquisition of something like a MongoDB, can you speak to any of the benefits that marketplace provided to Simpleview? So think like the transaction itself, billing, commitment drawdowns, things like that.
Really, the ease of finding of services was probably one of the biggest functional points for us. Is to be able to go in and just say, I'm looking for X. And it wasn't always one solution that was there, and gave us the opportunity to select a couple of opportunity or choices, make a few choices. Boy, edit that one a lot.
That's great. That's great.
But yeah, so I mean, it brought a lot of our billing and invoicing into one, screen. So we weren't having to worry about, what we're paying for use Mongo again as an example. We're paying for Mongo over here, and then GCP support over here, and then SQL services over here. It all kind of came into one, real easy and manageable and trackable sheet of paper.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. That's the whole goal of what Marketplace exists to do. So last question for you, just moving forward. I mean, has Simpleview had any decisions that you're going to always look at Marketplace for these services when available, just due to some of those benefits? Any plans even that you can speak to about things that might be upcoming that Marketplace might be a fit for?
I know I bring it up a lot with our engineering team because, they'll start the build out process of whatever the next great thing that we're building is. And, they're like, oh, we need widget B. I'm like, great, go look at Marketplace to see if that's something, rather than build it, let's see if it's something we can just pick up. And then, it can scale as widget B need increases, right? So we don't have to start with, an enterprise tier of whatever that is. We can start with just make sure it works, make sure it does what we want it to do, and then grow it from there. And the other plus is, again, with it being a Google product, there's always somebody there that can go, hey, I see you're using that. Here's how the better way to use it.
Yeah.
And that really helps our engineering team out a lot. So, going forward, trust me, that is always on my plate of this is where we need to go look for the widget Bs, and then we'll figure out, what the growth pattern looks like from there.
Awesome. Well, Sean, I really appreciate the time and appreciate the insights, and hope all the people watching this can see the same benefits and have the same view as you and Simpleview do moving forward. So again, really appreciate that. And thank you so much for the insights.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Awesome. Appreciate everyone joining, and hope everyone has a great rest of their day.